had to come in last week, take a lot of snaps at linebacker whenever Witt came out, and then West eventually came out with injury. Just talk about what that experience was like for you to really step up and play a big role for your team.
You know, you always look forward to getting to go out and play with your brothers. It was unfortunate how it happened, but it's always next man up. We've been preaching that since the beginning of the season. We know we have a great team. Everyone's looking forward for their chance to play, so you just got to stay ready and be ready to play with your brothers.
Speaking of that, like, I'm watching the game and I'm like, oh, it's Keys and Tylen Singleton in there at the same time. Like, almost a whole drive. Like, what have you seen from the depth of this linebacker room? Like, it seems like y'all got like 7, 8 guys.
Yeah, from the offseason, I knew we were going to be something special. Everyone in the linebacker room is locked in. You could throw anyone out there. They know what they're doing. They're flying around. They're making plays. And it was really great getting to play with, Zach and Tylen, those guys who don't really get game experience, getting to see them go, fly around, and have fun out there.
I know Blake Baker's your defensive coordinator, but he's a linebacker coach by nature. Damone Clark a few years ago talked really highly of him just as the position coach. Just what have you learned from him so far since, he's been here?
There's a lot I've learned. He's real specific on his technicals, so keeping your pads low, keeping your eyes up. A lot of small details that you don't really get from most coaches, and that's what I think sets him apart from others, is that he focuses on the technical and not only making the tackle, but how you made the tackle. Are you in the right body position, the right angle, things like that.
Since Witt was out like all of spring, dealing with his injury, how much better did you get getting all those, first-team reps in the spring and summer and whatnot?
I think it helped a lot, especially with getting that chemistry with West. Will's not really a position I played. I played a lot of star last year. I played Mike before that. So getting to take that time at Will got me a lot more comfortable, and the chemistry with West as well. So say Witt needs a breather, I'm able to go in and we don't miss a beat.
What does it take from your guys' perspective to get to that level where the entire room, anybody can go in at any time and nobody misses a beat?
It's really about being unselfish. We definitely have a lot of that in our room. It's everybody's playing for the team, whether it's special teams or defense. Everyone's ready for their name to be called. They're ready to run down on kickoff. They're ready to go in at any moment. And that's something that really gives you confidence in the linebacker room because, everyone's playing for each other. No one's playing for themselves.
Yeah, kind of looking at the defense as a whole, like it seems like no matter the situation in the game, like Coach Baker has y'all blitzing, right? But you got to have a lot of faith in the back end of your defense when you do that. What have you seen from that secondary?
They've been nice. In game, I don't really get to see it, but watching the film, it's always locked down. I know I can trust them. And even since fall camp, it was a different type of energy they brought. Everyone was flying around. They were always in the right spot, always making plays. And it makes it a lot easier when you're blitzing because you can just fly around. And as long as you get in the backfield, you either got a sack or an interception.
And I guess after a game like that, I don't think a defensive coach could ask for anything more. Just what was, the energy like with, the whole team, but the defense especially? Coach Baker looked like he was very pleased with y'all performance.
Yeah, he was very pleased. We're always a high-energy defense, so it didn't really fall off. It just got a little higher. We were all dancing around. We were happy that we won. And then, we came back the next day, still had the high energy, but just locking in for the next week.
And going on that, how do you guys go into, Southeastern and not overlook this team, even though, the odds are in you guys' favor, so to speak, but just not overlooking them as a team?
It's been a real emphasis, even before the season started, is focusing on 1-0 every week. And especially with covering up the future schedule, that's really helped us focus in on who we're playing, making sure we're on our P's and Q's for that team, and not worry about looking in the future.
You were part of the defense last year. You guys definitely showed some flashes and were really solid throughout the season. But this year, you're kind of bordering so far on elite status, if not already in that. What's the biggest difference between the defense this year versus last year?
Part of it is just a second year under Coach Baker. He learned how we learn, and he's able to tailor how he teaches the defense so we can better understand it and fly around more free. And then another part of it is just the energy. The energy has been incredible, especially compared to last year. And that's really something you look for in the defense. You want high energy so everyone's flying around and confident and having fun.
Just what have you learned the most or appreciated the most during your time here at LSU?
I definitely appreciate how welcome everyone is. Coming from high school to college, you're a little nervous. You don't know if everyone's going to be talkative or friendly. And when I came here, I didn't miss a beat. Everyone was friendly. Everyone was welcoming. Especially last year, all the seniors were helping me out. They were teaching all the freshmen the ropes. And that's what you look for in a championship team. You got to build the future while you're older, you know?
We haven't talked a lot about the D-line because I feel like it's a lot of they're setting things up for you guys in the secondary to make plays behind them. Is that kind of how it is? They're kind of the unsung heroes a little bit?
You're absolutely right. All the interceptions, all the sacks you see is because the D-line's getting penetration, the D-line's getting around the quarterback, forcing him off the spot. And, the D-line's still making plays, but you don't see it as much because you see the interceptions from the error throws.